Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, it's turned into a stormy day for some. This is a live view from a Roofing.iNet First Mid-Bank camera in Charleston. You can see the raindrops that are falling there in portions of Coles County as people try to make their way home here tonight. Let's take a look at what it looks like on the Storm Tracker Doppler, and wow, it's lighting up. I haven't seen storms on the radar for quite some time, but look at this. From near Chrisman back down to Oakland and Ashmore, and take a look at this. Throwing on the lightning strikes, and over 100 lightning strikes with this, and still lighting up down here into portions of Edgar and then down into Douglas and Coles County. So dealing with the storms here, rolling across the area. We have more of that actually in the forecast, and it's actually only 54. It's not like it's a warm summer day, but we've still got thunder and lightning out there. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the up and down swings and how 80 is in the forecast soon. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Central Illinois is still in phase 4 of the state's reopening plan, while crackdowns could be on the way for bars and restaurants. The spring semester will look a little different for U of I students. The changes leaders are moving forward with.
And authorities in Champaign County identified a Jane Doe from a case dating back to 1995. How they were able to make that breakthrough.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
All the studies that have been done about bars and restaurants show that these are significant spreading locations.
Governor Pritzker has banned indoor seating at bars and restaurants in 4 more counties. Now, he's warning restrictions could happen here as new cases of COVID-19 continue to sweep the state. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. For now, all of central Illinois remains in phase 4, but the rates of infection and hospitalization are trending in the wrong direction and could soon mean bars and restaurants in our regions would have to close. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield. Mark, tighter restrictions are set to take place in 4 of the state's 11 regions.
Jennifer, this is the single largest COVID-19 crackdown since June, when we were coming off the peak at the worst of it this summer. Starting Friday, Rockford's region, which has been under some restrictions for some time now, in addition to 4 big suburban counties surrounding Chicago and southwestern Illinois, the Metro East area surrounding St. Louis, all 3 of those pockets of Illinois will be under some phase of limited capacity indoors or banned capacity for bars and restaurants. That's the big difference here, is that it's not Chicago driving the closures, not the infection rates there, it's other parts of the state. Data compiled by local contact tracers around the state show us where you're most likely to catch COVID-19. They say that's indoors, at a bar, at a restaurant. Behind that is a workplace that's outside an office, maybe like a warehouse, or inside a hospital. Those are the places the state is focusing its efforts as they're ratcheting up these restrictions, with a special warning for rural parts of the state where data shows that the first wave of COVID-19 largely spared sparsely populated areas.
That situation to some degree has reversed. That is to say that Chicago has one of the lower positivity rates in the state, and it's the rural areas of the state that have the highest positivity rates. You're seeing that in Wisconsin. You're seeing that in Iowa. You're seeing that in Indiana.
The governor calling that a spillover effect, warning that lax restrictions in those bordering states have slowly sparked a surge here in Illinois. Today marks the 3rd day in a row Governor Pritzker has made a direct appeal to rural Illinois. He's acknowledged that President Trump's rhetoric, the political discussion in some of these categories, has really caught on, even in places where Governor Pritzker's warnings have fallen short. One thing, though, politics aside, one thing undeniably true: rural Illinois' critical hospitals and access and hospital capacity is much lower and could not handle the same surge we saw in Chicago. If things get that high, Jennifer, we're going to be in rough shape in parts of downstate Illinois.
All right, we're going to be watching those numbers. Thank you so much, Mark. Now, here are some more. There are more than 3,700 new cases in Illinois. That brings the total up to nearly 351,000. The positivity rate is still creeping upward. It's now at 5.5%. There were 41 more deaths, including 6 in Sangamon County, 1 in McLean, and 1 in Macoupin County. That total is now nearly 9,300.
The COVID-19 testing site at the Vermilion County Health Department reopened this week after an increase in positive cases. State Senator Scott Bennett reached out to the governor to make it happen. You can get tested now through October 25th from 9 until 4:30 every day. You don't need an insurance or an appointment. Senator Bennett says the big concern is positive testing rates that break that 8% barrier for more than 3 days and the restrictions that would come with it.
And we've actually flirted with that a couple times in the last few weeks. We don't want to see the virus continue to spread, and we don't want to see our businesses continue to suffer by having to close their doors right after they've opened.
There are 48 new cases of COVID-19 in Vermilion County. That makes 222 active cases. 8 people are in the hospital. The Libman facility in Arcola had COVID-19 testing available for its employees today. This comes as Libman officials have reported 37 new cases in the past 5 days. They've now reached a total of 68 cases among 700 employees. If someone does go home sick, the facility sanitizes that person's area. They've also installed air purifiers for office areas.
And we have an update on the COVID outbreak at Lincoln's Challenge Academy in Rantoul. 2 more staffers tested positive. There were 34 cases. Now there are 36. There are 29 cadets and 7 staff positive. The academy will be mass tested. U of I students will return to campus for the spring semester a week later than planned. We told you the U of I Senate was considering canceling spring break, making other changes to the calendar. Yesterday, they moved forward with those plans. The spring semester will now start January 25th. There will also be 3 days with no school, one in February, March, and April. They're trying to cut down on the number of students traveling to and from campus.
Mattoon schools started hybrid learning this week. They were completely remote the first quarter. Middle and high school students will be broken into different schedules. One half will attend in person on Monday and Tuesday, others Thursday and Friday. On Wednesdays, the school will go through a deep cleaning. The superintendent says he's happy to have support.
We're trying to reinvent how education is delivered, and I'm just grateful for the grace that our families and our communities are giving all of us.
If parents aren't comfortable with hybrid learning, they can continue strictly remote learning. Here's an update on the contested Macon County Sheriff's race. The court case over the race has been delayed. Both sides are still trying to figure out which ballots are contested. The trial date was set for Thursday. It's instead been moved back to next Tuesday.
We have new details on a crash that killed a bicyclist and hurt another. It happened on October 11th, just outside of Muhammad on Route 150. Dr. Bill Shue died 2 days after being hit while riding his bike with his family. State police say they are now looking for a white Ford Mustang, not a semi-truck. It's between model years 2010 and 2014. They say it'll have damage to the front right bumper, front right quarter panel, and the right side view mirror has broken off. If you have any information, contact state police. A man is dead after a crash in Logan County. It happened yesterday on Route 136 near Emden. A semi was stopped in a construction zone. Troopers say the 46-year-old driver didn't stop and crashed into the back of the truck. We now know the name of a woman who was found dead 25 years ago. Her remains were pulled from a field northwest of Thomasboro in 1995. Investigators have now identified her as Carrie Lynn Wyant. She last lived in Kewanee in northwestern Illinois. Since her remains were found, she's only been referred to as Jane Doe. Thanks to the work of genetic genealogists, they're starting to put together the pieces.
I feel good about the fact that we've gotten to this point and she's been identified. Her family has some closure. Not knowing whatever happened to her, now they do. And hopefully the Sheriff's Department can get more answers for them.
Her cause of death was ruled a homicide, but investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. They're asking anyone who knows anything to call them. And coming up tonight at 6, we'll tell you how a TV show helped move this investigation along.
It's been a dry town since the Prohibition era, but that could be changing. Why council members are pushing for the town's first liquor license.
Plus, the county came up with a way to help people struggling to pay rent. Why there are concerns some may be taking advantage of the program.